Oh wow, that's really dark. Let's get this up and going here. Alright. Now I got the camera and lighting kind of acceptable, I think. Well, here we go. I think this is going to be a kind of a topic of there's no middle ground when it comes to intelligence and how you make your money. I was watching a Jack Morgan video about a real smart guy that came out, I think, today, October 25th. It's pretty good, but I have a take on this, and I'm not saying that I'm some genius. I say there's no middle ground when it comes to being a very intelligent person when it comes to making money. There's no middle ground. When I say no middle ground, either you can manipulate the system to get as much as you can from it using your intelligence, or you realize how broken it is and you want nothing to do with it. No middle ground. Otherwise you're wading in some mire of cognitive dissonance or moral quandary. I mean, I've seen this with myself. And I work for the medical industry. I repair medical equipment as my day job. You know, the amount of stuff I've had to work on is insane. It's like my trade is like the ultimate generalists or ultimate jack of all trades. Like we do electronics, hydraulics, pneumatics. I've fixed elevators. I fixed defibrillators. So we don't do elevators anymore. We don't have the license for that anymore. I've fixed the pneumatics on industrial-sized washing machines. I've done door security. It's like, holy shit. It's like, if you want to say, what are you good at? I'm actually at analysis paralysis because of the amount of shit that I've fixed. I don't know what I'm good at because I've fixed fucking everything aside from boiler systems. But I've fixed parts of boiler systems because I've ordered in 24-volt power supply DIN rail mount shit for the steam plant. Because I've done that because one of the steam plant managers knows that I know how to source that shit out. I don't know what I haven't worked on. I've never done roofing on a commercial building. Okay. I've roofed my own house. I've said that before. But like I said, when you're of a high intelligence, and like I'm saying, I'm not saying I'm a super smart guy or anything like that. It's like there's no middle ground anymore. It's like you hear of like high IQ like doctors or medical people that really know their medical shit. Like, you know, we're talking like SAS level field medicine. They don't go into medicine in the Western world. They just go to the third world and help people. They're not making bank. They're just like, fuck this, I don't want to deal with the normal system. And there's some other high IQ people in history, like Ted Kaczynski, who realized how broken everything was. If you haven't read his manifesto, you should. I don't agree with the blowing stuff up part. Read it. I don't disagree with most of it. Either you realize you have two options when you're that smart and you realize what the system is. You manipulate it for your own gain and be a psychopath, or realize how broken it is and leave. Live in the woods. Like, there's no middle ground. It's like, for me, I live in the I work in the medical field. And I work on medical equipment. We maintain stuff like IV pumps. They're smart IV pumps, because everything's smart these days, right? Everything's being connected to the internet. Yeah, these things are connected to the internet. Because why wouldn't you want injecting stuff, putting stuff in your veins connected to the internet? Everything's fucking connected to the internet these days. It's insane. Fucking hate it. Even beds have fucking CPUs now. It's fucking retarded. A stretcher has 3 circuit boards in it and has a calendar. I wish I was fucking joking. It's stupid. The end-shitification of things. But anyways, like I'm saying, I'm working on IV pumps. We do drug library updates, and what a drug library is, which actually sounds really funny. It's like you're going to a pharmacy. I'm going to a drug library. It's a thing where you choose, like if you're administering drugs to a patient, antibiotics, whatever, you choose where the clinical care area. Like say, oh, I'm in post-op surgery. That's the clinical care area. And then you choose the drug or painkiller like fentanyl or hydromorphine. And then it sets hard limits of what delivery you can do. Like it's like you can only deliver 2 milligrams per hour of this thing based on your profile, whatever, right? And then we have to like push these things. That's our responsibility as biomedical technologists. And I hope it adopts myself too much. Clinical engineering, right? But we do that. We do those updates, and then every single fucking time every single time I actually look at these pumps. Hold on a second. Every single time we're talking about cognitive dissonance, every single time I see that drug library, virus mania. Oh, it's fucking flipped. Okay. Yeah, virus mania. I don't know why it's flipped 180 degrees, but I read this book, especially, and then after listening to ex-doctors like Samantha Bailey and Andrew Kaufman, I realized the entire thing's fucking bullshit. Drugs are bullshit. It's just Rockefeller medicine. I like to make the joke that anytime a doctor actually does their own research post-grad and looks into this shit, they become a naturopath and probably lose a license because they piss everybody off. But, like I said, I'm stuck in a place of cognitive dissonance. The money is okay. I make probably about $50K US dollars. That's not bad in a place that has a very low cost of living in Canada. That's another problem. I'm in Canada. Oops. So drink to that. But then you realize, like I said, if you're intelligent, you can see the world for what it is. You either participate for your own gain and don't give a shit, or you leave. And I'm stuck in the middle. So you have books like this, War is a Racket, and you read that, and you're like, oh, that's where my tax dollars are going to. A blood sacrifice. Or this is a newer book. I like this guy, Stephen A. Young, A Fool's Wisdom. That's a good read. That's a good one. It's kind of esoteric, but I have a few other books I need to go through. But at some point you kind of just admit you feel trapped. You just kind of feel trapped. And it's like, it sucks. But there's job perks. Okay, that can kind of soothe a little bit, soothing the cognitive dissonance. Like, for example, like you go for training, company training and shit, and they'll give us some really sweet ass fucking stuff like this. You know, like interchangeable bits and stuff, and they're like, yeah, you don't have to actually. This is actually for you, not for the company. So like, I have 2 of these now. Got like really nice Swiss. I think it's Swiss or Swedish. Can't remember. But like really nice. I can't really see that. You see that there? I can't. Whatever. Nice bits. Or nice drivers. Like size 15, 10 Torx and shit. Number 2, number 1 Phillips. It's good. I guess if that's some salve, that kind of helps. But seriously, I had said to my dad that I felt trapped, and he's like, yeah, I work for. He's like, where works this fucking international local then international steel company that they used to hold awesome Christmas parties for their employees as a thank you. They rented out, like the company rented out like a stadium. Do you think they do that now? If they do, it's fucking half-assed as shit. They don't care. Employees are just an economic unit now. They're not people. They're not people at all. We're not people to those people. We're not at all. And well, I think of the next thing to talk about, and throw some fucking tobaccos in the thing, and I'll think about it and look at my notes. Oh, yeah. One thing. Okay, I remembered one thing. Something piqued my memory of one thing. This is not a personal attack on anybody. Really not. That's how people spend their money. Or how people live their lives. How people kind of live their lives. And I'm not harsh on anybody. People do what they want to do, right? But it kind of popped into my head when I was watching just Jack's video here. Got it up on the screen. It actually was partially illuminating my face, for instance. It's how people spend their money in a job or career, or how they think their future income is going to pan out. I'm going to make a note here. Pay cut. Now, if he ever sees this, he's probably going to hate my guts, but I'm going to say it anyways. I love the guy. Good guy, terrible with money. I'm not the best with money either, but he's had the same job as me for probably almost 20 years. Making the same amount as I do. The dude's got, like, God bless his heart, he's got a cabin. He basically made money to buy toys, like jet skis and sleds and shit. Now he's on like a lot of stuff to keep his body going. I'm going to say that. And okay, he's taking out loans and shit. I don't know. He has got giant money troubles. While at the same time, I got money to burn, and that's like kind of a humble brag. But I don't do anything. I don't buy stuff. I buy beer, and I buy video games on Steam, and I buy a handful of like electronic components, which is like $20 here and there every like a few months. My main expenditure is basically my mortgage. That's it. And then these other guys, they're in debt, they have no money, and they make the same amount of money as I do. And it's like, at what point do you say, dude, you're fucking up? I'm not saying I'm not a fuck up. I'm a bit of a fuck up with regards to, the drinking stuff. But it's like, come on, at some point it's like, dude, I don't know. Can you help these people? I don't know. I have no idea. And that's like the middle ground I find myself in too. And you're probably also wondering why I'm wearing such a ghetto outfit. I wear this to work because I realize the more the world seems crazy, the crazier I dress. I'm the jester, I suppose. But on top of that, too, the politics at at these workplaces. It's like we didn't technically get a pay cut, but we got a pay cut, a big one. And yeah, I'm making a decent amount of money already, but I'm not complaining there. But because of union bullshit, unions are supposed to make you more money. I think I said this on another video. Because we're not part of building services anymore, because of the amalgamation of services, we're not on call, which is great because now I don't have to, I can basically turn my phone off after 4:30 every day. But at the same time, being on-call rotation with 4 guys, being on call once a month, there's a standby pay. That's awesome. My dad did not get the standby pay. He was basically just expected to answer the phone at 2 a.m. in the morning with the steel plant he worked at. And that fucking probably took 20 years off his life. But the standby pay alone that we lost is probably like $2,500. Like, I worked it out. And that's not getting called in at all. With call, and if you get called in like one time on drink, like, we basically lost $4,000, maybe $5,000 a year. I'd have to actually look back in the books, look back at my T4 slip. But it's like, these places don't care about you. These places don't give a fuck. They want you to like put in all this effort, all this shit for a career, and they'll just like kick you in the balls when it's convenient. I kind of knew it in the back of my head, but when it happens, it's like, yeah, I can't get it. But that goes back around to, there's no middle ground. You realize how corrupt every single fucking system is. And then I know how corrupt my system is. Again, I work for the medical industry. I fix medical equipment. I work for the industry that told you to get the thing in the arm. So is it my intelligence that says there's no middle ground anymore? This is a long story. I had, again, this is how the system works and shit, right? You have holidays, you have sick time. Well, I took holidays planned for the first number of years I worked for this place. I never took sick time. If I felt like shit, I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll just sequester myself to my laptop and do some typey work that I have to catch up on. Most of my work is fixing shit. Now it's 50-50 fucking paperwork and fixing shit because it's gone retarded. I took the job because I like fixing shit. I fix my car. I don't mind I like fixing shit. I like making like tangible results. If this shit's broken, I will do the thing to make it not broken. It's pretty tangible. I like tangible results. If this thing's broken, if the hydraulics are fucked, I'll add more oil and fix the broken seals or some shit like that, right? If the pneumatics are fucked, I'll do the same thing. If the electronics are fucked, I'll find that the bridge rectifier is fucked, and I'll desolder it and put a new bridge rectifier in. The circuit board's working again. It's usually or a MOSFET or something like that, right? I like fixing shit. It's tangible. If something's not working, and then you fix it and it's working, boom. But when it comes to like bureaucratic paperwork, I can't. I want it to burn down. Fuck the bureaucrat shit. I understand that there needs to be records held, but it's gotten to the point, our country, the United States included, maybe not as badly, but in the United States included, Canada is just a paperwork country. It's a paperwork country. Imagine if you had surgery, or you had a patient, this is the way I like to put it. Imagine you had a patient that needs surgery within the next 20 minutes or they'll die. But you gotta get the paperwork done first. But the paperwork takes 2 days. That patient's dead. That's how I take my job. I'll fix the shit first, do the paperwork after. Because the paperwork doesn't mean shit. It's just logistics. Say for like an infant warmer that I had to fix this week, or last week. It was down for a little bit. I can't flip this up. An infant warmer, it's got to keep it, whatever, you can say what you want about the hospital system and infants, and that's a whole other thing. Like I said, industrialized healthcare is a blight on humanity. Again, my cognitive dissonance is probably killing us more than it is helping us. Anyways, I think like what Stardust might have said, we live long not because of medical industry, is in spite of medical industry. Again, my own cognitive dissonance. But at what point in my... I've been working there for probably 13 years now. I started in October 2012. And I thought I was doing God's work. Not real, that's an exaggeration. But I thought that was like the one industry that I could have my conscience settle on and not be too... Like, I'm not working for somebody that develops javelin weapons. Or javelin missiles. Or rotary machine guns. I'm like, okay, I'm not working for an industry that blows people up. But then I realized I'm working for an industry that kills people. Or, sorry, poisons them. And then I'm like, oh shit, where do I go from here? And then I hear about a bunch of people like, oh, just use your skills to be self-employed. I'm like, well, I know how to work on medical equipment, but there's no way I can't afford the equipment to be self-employed to do what I do at work. Because a single piece of medical, like a patient simulator, a simulator that would work, oh, not to mention the yearly fucking recalibration of these things, that's a big bill. A single one of these pieces of equipment probably costs maybe a new truck or a new car. One piece to do one thing. I can't be self-employed in the medical industry. That's insane. That cost is insane. Like if you're an electrician, even license, and all the certifications there, holy fuck. But your tools aren't that expensive. Like, my dad was an electrician. He taught me how to, wire receptacles, wire plugs and shit like that. Hot, neutral, ground and shit. That's not bad. Your tools you need is you go to Canadian Tire, right? You go to Canadian Tire, buy what you need to do. The medical stuff, you need to go through Fluke, the company Fluke. Multimeters, they're okay. Price-wise, spending a few $100. But you're talking a patient simulator that can simulate. You throw on all your ECG leads that can simulate a heart rhythm, arrhythmias, and then you have to buy a defibrillator tester, which measures the output of a defibrillator. That's $50,000, $50,000. It's for one person, you're fucked. Enjoy paying off that business loan. I don't know, but yeah, kind of feel trapped and shit. Anyways, that was kind of a rant. I think I got nothing left on my my notes here. Aside from the job perks, that was fun when it lasted. It's when we were part of building services, I would just pay, if I wanted some scrap steel for I was doing aluminum casting and shit, I would just pay the manager hey, you got some aluminum in the bins there, I'll pay you double the market price. Here you go. And they get the money anyways. But fuck. Yeah, going back to the whole like I said, I'm not saying I'm some genius here. I'm not saying I'm some genius or some shit, but you go back to intelligent people being sabotaged in work, I can see it. You're either, again, it gets to the point where you realize how broken it is, so you're a psychopath and really just be a slime ball and take advantage of the whole thing using your intelligence, or leave. And when I say leave, I mean I was talking to a social worker. You all can laugh, but there's a reason for that. I was abusing my stuff. I'm not gonna say it because I'll probably get doxxed. And then I think I broke her mind a little bit. When I said I could just leave. I said I could just leave. I could put a for sale sign in front of my house. $100,000. Everything in here is yours. I'm leaving with everything in my car. Have fun. And just go. There was a guy called, let me look it up. Mostly harmless. Mostly harmless hiker. Mostly harmless. Mostly harmless. Vance Rodriguez. He basically left. And there's another guy, I forget his name. He just left. And there's another guy that, I can't remember his name. If anybody sees this video, you'll probably figure it out. I'm too lazy to look at it right now. The guy his car broke down on the side of the road. And he's like, fuck it. And just went into the woods. And granted, he did steal stuff, which I don't support. However, he just stole as little as he needed. Left it. And they just lived in the woods for like 28 years. And he's like, that was the most free I've ever been in my life. And I'm like, that is an option. That's an option. And then this social worker I'm looking at, she kind of looked at me. She's like, I can't disagree with that technically, but I think I terrified her, actually. And she's like, well, your life is kind of bad. It's like, yeah, it sucks. Life's terrible. But, like, you can leave. And I'm not like, leave, but you can just walk away. People have walked away before. Not many. It's a terrifying idea. But it also brings me back to an idea of a story. The ones who walked away from Mamelius. Some people realize the system is broken. And sometimes you just leave.